Hey folks, it's Eric from Support Adventure, and I'd like to talk about big cities for digital nomads. I'm currently in Bangkok, Thailand, and I arrived here yesterday, and there's a noticeable change of vibe from where I was on the island of Koh Phangan. And basically, I'm not sure I would want to live in a city like this long term as a digital nomad, but you might differ in an opinion that you might have. So let's talk about the sort of considerations you should pick your city with. So basically, yeah, the whole digital nomad experience can mean that you can work from anywhere that has internet and power. So basically this could range from being alone in a village somewhere or alone in the countryside somewhere to being in a mega metropolis like Bangkok. So I tend to find that the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle. There's a reason that Chiang Mai, Thailand is really popular as a digital nomad hotspot. There's a reason why Medellin, Colombia is popular as a digital nomad hotspot. And there's a reason why places like Tulum, Mexico and Koh Phangan, where I'm currently staying, are popular as digital nomad hotspots. And that's because they offer a very relaxed lifestyle compared to big cities like this. And they also offer sort of the cosmopolitan benefits of a big city like this. Without a lot of the hassle, without such high prices in a lot of cases, you get what you get from a city like this. As a digital nomad, you should surround yourself in an environment that inspires you, for sure. And there definitely has to be some component of social interaction which fits your nomad lifestyle, i.e. other nomads in the vicinity. But a city like this could be overwhelming. I mean, it depends who you are and what your goals are. I decided to become a digital nomad and not continue to pursue my career as, a person living in London and Toronto, because I didn't want to live in these big business cities like London and Toronto. So a city like Bangkok, well, it is very different, exotic, has lots of different neighborhoods and different authentic sort of Thai experiences you can have. I'd say in a lot of the places you're going to be living a lifestyle that looks a lot more like living in London, New York, other big Asian cities, than it looks like the typical Thai lifestyle that you might be enchanted with. I'm saying that people here are generally very concerned about success, money, and all that sort of capitalist stuff. The modern conveniences are there. The lifestyle involves taking mass transit where you go, and you're surrounded by people in a city where people come to make it. People move from smaller places to come here to make it. But you, as a digital nomad, can make it from your backpack anywhere in the world, with your laptop anywhere in the world. So what are the benefits of coming to a city like this? Well, there might be a hustle in the air. There might be a grind, and you might be able to elevate yourself above the grind and feed on that energy of people trying to be successful, trying to make it, starting companies, an entrepreneurial ecosystem. Me personally, I've already had a successful venture. I don't need to be pushed forward. I've created something that constantly pushes me forward now, and so I prefer to be in more relaxed places so that I don't feel like I'm in the rat race. I don't feel like I'm in the grind. And Bangkok for me very much feels like that grind sort of rat race type of place with lots of Thai Asian pleasures, yeah, but it's a bit of a grind. So let's talk about urbanism as well. The thing that's great about cities like Chiang Mai in Thailand and northern Thailand and Belgrade in Serbia and southern Europe, there's a couple neighborhoods where expats and people like you are likely to live and want to go, and they're pretty accessible by walking up to like half an hour from one end to the other of the typical expat urbanized zone. And that's great, because if you get a bicycle, that gets down to about 10 minutes or something. And then you don't really need to have a car. And you wouldn't want to have a car in a place like Bangkok anyway. And you don't really need to have a heavy use of mass transport. But in a city like Bangkok, I almost feel like you will need to, use a car or a motorbike, or you will need to use mass transit, taxi apps, and all that sort of stuff, which is a big minus if you're trying to have a healthy lifestyle and, some of the benefits of not having to go places, or being able to stay in a certain neighborhood and nest in and be around all your favorite restaurants. Here, it's just skyscraper after skyscraper after skyscraper. Yeah, you can walk here. It's not a great place to be a pedestrian, though. To be honest, Thailand isn't in general. So I wouldn't want to have a bicycle in this city, I don't think. The traffic is ferocious. The air quality is really bad. Stuff like that. These big city problems that just rear their ugly heads in a place like this. Now, in terms of culture and arts and all that stuff, you might find a lot in Bangkok, but essentially it is a business city, and a lot of these big places are business cities. London and New York are also arts capitals. I don't really think Bangkok is much of an arts capital. In a few trips here, I've never really encountered too much of an artistic scene, and most of the stuff is sort of geared towards tourists that I have enjoyed culturally. I don't know. It seems like a business city, and as I said, escaping the business cities is one of the greatest sort of benefits of being a digital nomad. You don't have to go to New York. You don't have to go to London, Toronto, Singapore to make your career. You can do that from the comfort of your own home, from the comfort of a city where you truly feel comfortable. But yeah, you want to have this cosmopolitan benefit, and you want to have other people like you around, and you want to have within reach stuff that you actually find interesting culturally. I'm talking about international cuisine. I'm talking about different styles of music, different art scenes, theater performance. If you're into, for example, more formalized like classical music, you might want to live in a city that has that. But it doesn't have to be the biggest city in a region or country. The thing I like about Belgrade, Serbia is it's a big city with a sort of like small city vibe as well. It's 2 million people. This Bangkok, I don't know, like 10 million people? It's too much. But as I said, it may push you forward. It may inspire you to succeed and launch your new venture. You may find an ecosystem of entrepreneurship. You may find that you have a lot more in common with the locals than in smaller places. If you're from a big city, if you're a really globalized expat, you may find that you come to Bangkok and you can find Thai people who are more relatable than the Thai people who you might find on an island somewhere. That's for sure. And you may find it's easier to integrate in society in a big city like this because it is very globalized and it is very international. But for me personally, and it is a personal choice where you live as a digital nomad, and it's not a permanent choice because you move anytime, I would not spend much time in a place like this. But that my taste might change even in the next few years. Who knows? But I'm enjoying being in Bangkok today. It's a little bit overwhelming. But most of all right now I'm enjoying Koh Phangan, which is an island with, I guess, about 10 to 15,000 people. And all of the benefits I described of cuisine and culture and, just a good vibe. So yeah, tell me what you think in the comments. What's your dream as a digital nomad? Is it to live in a big mega city like this? Or is it to have a more peaceful life in a more relaxed place? Well, you can open your laptop at any time and get work done. Thanks a lot, Eric Support Adventure. Please subscribe if you don't mind. I'll catch you later.